I'm going to just quickly show you how to prepare your files for the LaserBox laser cutter. The first important thing is that you have two sketches. One, which is the sketch that has all your cuts, and two, a sketch that has all your engravings. Okay, and you got to make sure that you don't have any of the cut lines in your engravings. So if you've accidentally put everything into one sketch, you're going to have to pick. If you try copying and pasting, it'll crash your computer with this version of Fusion 360. So what I decided was I took my engraving. This has a lot more complex lines, okay? And I deleted all my cuts and I redid all my cuts because it didn't take quite long, and that is there, okay? In this example, that's what was done, okay? So here, from this stage on, you've got your two sketches, then you go File, Save as DXF, okay? Okay, and I'm gonna save it to my desktop so I can find it. So I put desktop, and I call this one cuts, and I hit save, and then that's been saved as a DXF. Now I go to this one, okay, and I'm going to two-finger click and go save as DXF, and I'm going to call this one engrave, okay, and save it to my desktop. All right, so now that I've got that and it's all been prepared properly, I can close Fusion 360 and open up LaserBox. Here's LaserBox, and I've got a new template in here, and I'm going to import my first DXF, which is my cuts. So it should load up, and I find my desktop, and I'm looking for something called cuts, and I click open, and I have my cuts loading in, and I use millimeters, so that's the proper size, and it's loading that in. Okay, now you can see I have laser cutting here, and the power is at 30. I'm going to put that power up to about 70%, okay, and we're just going to leave the speed as is for now. Okay, so this is the actual size. Our laser cutting bed is quite large, so this is a very decent sized metal here, but it's just my cuts. If I wanted to make it engravings, I'd click it orange, but in this case, it's going to be my laser cut. I brought in my cuts first, and I think it's a good idea to do that. And then next, I'm going to import my engravings. So I find that, and there it is. I spelled that wrong, I'm sorry. Bit of a typo there, got that. And there we go. All right. Okay, so it's loaded it, and here's where I have to use my arrow keys and place it properly. It's very hard to do if you try to do it after the fact. So I'm moving this into the exact location I want, and we've got that. All right, so then I'm going to hit this as an engraving. Okay, there was something I noticed. The text box is missing. All right, and this might happen to you. So in this case, it's going to be easier for me to maybe do another design here, and I'm going to add a text box here and type in ISB, and then the typeface here, I'm going to use Americana T, because that's one of our fonts there, and then I'm going to use the arrow keys here to kind of move this to the location I want it. I mean, you could drag it and get it to where you want. Okay, all right, and now that my my metal is exactly how I want it, I might go to this mode here, and I don't want this to be engraved. I actually want it to be laser cut. Okay, so I'm going to move my power to 70%, and we'll go there. All right, Usually when I plug it into the machine and I put the piece of wood in, it determines, okay, let's say I have, usually I pick pine, because that's very similar. You can see it makes the cuts 95 and it does the speed, so it's going to do everything for us. But I might actually go and measure the piece of wood and find out that it's 4.5 millimeters, so I do that. Okay. Now I'm ready to go to the machine, plug in my laser cutter, and hit the plus button and laser cut this. Okay. Put your piece of wood in the bed, and it'll show a picture of it, and then you can move your product and line it all up. I'll go show you how that looks in a minute. Okay.